another edition of Motivational Fitness Thursday.
Oh, there goes Coach to the kitchen.
All right, well, greetings, New Faith, and welcome to another edition of Coaches in the Kitchen again. Just got out of the gym. We just got through working out. I know you're famished. I am. Got a really cool concept for you. We're focusing on our All-In campaign, the campaign that the pastor just mentioned in the last sermon that he gave us this past weekend. We are also focusing on our health, right? We have a 100-mile competition that's kind of going on, not necessarily a competition, but a camaraderie with some of our members that we don't get the chance to see on a regular basis because of this whole COVID situation. And just, by the way, as just a side note, this thing is going to be over soon. God is still on the throne. We are still able to do what God has for us to do. And in that, I'm going to continue to talk about what we're going to eat right now, because again, I'm hungry. So what we have here is I'm going to be messing with the Impossible meat again. We're doing more of this plant-based kind of thing, trying to give you some options to be able to eat more healthy and not with all the extra saturated fats and all the various different hormones that are offered in a lot of the meats that we eat now. Just giving you another alternative to eating healthy. So with this, I have what I call the Chipotle Bowl or Taco Bowl. You go to Chipotle, you get that little bowl where they give you the rice and they give you the beans and then whatever meats that you want. You may want the ground beef or you may want the chicken. And then, all the various different other toppings that they kind of have for you, the lettuce and then the other stuff. Well, some of that stuff is really good, but we're trying to, again, alleviate the use of meat if you have to use, if you're one of those that have to have meat, we have great substitutes now. These guys have gotten really good about substituting a lot of these various different things. We're going to give you a couple of options here. We're going to have a plant-based chicken, and we also have the Impossible patty, which is a plant-based ground beef kind of thing. And so we'll mess with that, all right? So with that said, let's get right into it. Instead of rice, and again, another way to kind of cut those calories is we're going to use cauliflower bits or cauliflower rice as they want to call it. I've also threw in a kind of an organic medley of, so it's got some vegetables in there already, got the broccoli and some carrots with some green onions and so forth. So you kind of have that kind of feel. We'll mix all those in together and kind of just come up with a good healthy bowl for us, all right? And we have all the various different things here. Talked about this before, is I use avocado oil. And so I'm gonna pour some of that in there because we're gonna work on the cauliflower rice first. So I've poured my avocado oil in. I've got my eyes set on medium. Got my cauliflower rice or cauliflower bits, and I'm gonna empty it all in there. And I'm going to supplement it with my vegetable cauliflower rice here. Ooh, does that smell? Okay. And so now I want to make sure that I get that coated in the oil, so that way I don't have it sticking. And again, Coach, and they'll probably have this in captions, Coach is not a chef. He just likes to eat. All right, I like to throw a little bit of salt in there, a little bit of pepper. Mix that on up here. So we're basically kind of just sauteing the cauliflower rice here. And you don't want it to go for too long. You just want it to go for about 3 to 4 minutes. Now, the secret weapon is vegan butter. I like to also put a little bit of vegan butter, and just a tablespoon will do, or more. It's vegan, it's good. Really tasty stuff and healthy. Again, promoting health here, right? And one asked the question, well, Coach, isn't rice it's plant-based too? Rice is plant-based. It's a starch that lends to a higher calorie than the cauliflower rice, but you can get away with using just regular rice. And then those that love brown rice is even better. Obviously, brown rice helps with in the digestive situation as far as alleviating yourself of extra fat. All right, so we getting this all kind of sauteed. That butter, once that butter's kind of melted, you kind of know that this is probably as long as you want it to go. All right, so I have my Bush's beans. I love Bush's beans, just really good quality beans. I'm gonna drain all the juice out of this though, because I wanna make my own with when I use the Southwest corn that I'll put in with that. We'll get them back over to my little pot that I have worked up. Cool, that's done. I have my Southwest corn, and I'm just gonna pour it in as is with my black beans. That's gonna give me the little juice in replacing what I poured out of the beans when I opened the can initially. So with this, I'm gonna season just like I normally would. Let's turn this on. We're gonna put this on simmer actually. All right, so I have the Southwest corn poured into my black beans. I'm gonna season just a little bit. I love salt, but I don't want anyone else to have that high blood pressure situation kind of creep up on them, so I'd be monitoring the salt. I do a little bit of pepper. And my little secret, and if you tell anyone, I'm gonna be a little upset with you. I like to throw a little pico, all right? I really don't need to cook anything in here. We just really wanna warm it up. And if you feel, again, another great substitute for salt is seasonal. I did bring my seasonal, but I'm gonna taste this in a little bit and make sure that I didn't salt too much, but I do have a lot of beans and corn in here, so I don't think I did. But you always want to be cautious of how much salt and sodium you are bringing into your diet. All right, so we have our black beans going at the same time. We have our cauliflower rice that's already waiting for us. We get ready to go into working with our Impossible meat. I'm going with another couple of tablespoons of avocado oil. You can use 1 tablespoon or more, but what I like to do is use 2 because I love the flavoring of onions. Onions are a really good source of not only protein, but also just helping with the digestive tract as well as removing waste from your system. And we're just gonna use a little spoon here and get that on out there. And we're gonna saute these onions first before we go with our meat. I think I got pretty much all that out of there. Good. I'm gonna, a little salt, a little pepper. My little pepper ordeal here, the thingy here, won't dispense as much pepper, so it seems like I'm putting a lot of pepper in here, but I'm not. So I'm just putting enough, basically more so a teaspoonful. And we're gonna let this go. I'm gonna use my cauliflower right there. I like to saute my onions for about 5 minutes. We just wanna get them soft, all right? But you can use garlic. Garlic is another great vegetable to be able to use. And so many different healing agents to garlic. My mom was always fond of garlic because she said that it helped to alleviate natural body smells or whatever else. I don't know what she was talking about. I didn't have no body smells. But anyways, but garlic has a great deal of health attributes to it. So always using garlic. Another thing that I brought up last time and when I was doing the enchiladas was the use of avocado. Avocado is a great fruit. I don't know if you knew that or not. It's actually a fruit, but it's a great fruit to use. Quick sip of water. I know that's not what you paid for, but Coach gets thirsty. All right, so I'm right there near my 5-minute mark for sauteing these onions. And you probably want to use anywhere from, I'd say, one medium onion and maybe 2 small onions. That's probably about enough, depending on how much meat you're going to use. I'm using 2 pounds here, our Impossible meat. And again, there's Impossible meat. They have several different ones. Beyond Meat. There's another one that I saw too. I think it's called Lighthouse or something like that. But yeah, they have several different brands out there. I'm more fond of the Impossible meat. I just think it tastes a lot better, a little less of the aftertaste, and it takes to the seasoning really well, because utilizing the same seasonings that I would use if I were actually cooking meat. So now, looks like my Southwest black beans are getting warm here. I'm gonna let those continue to go for a little while longer there, but those are mixed up pretty good. All right, let that go. And my onions look really soft. So now that my onions are soft, I'm gonna come in with my Impossible meat. All right. All right, good. Impossible meat, let's wash these up real quick. And even though I have already seasoned my onions, I still season my Impossible meat as well. All right, I got the salt, a little cumin, just a little bit. Cumin goes a long way. And again, it's one of those situations where my cumin is not coming out very strong, so that's why it looks like I'm pouring a lot, but I'm not. I got my Chipotle black pepper. This is a cheat. Don't tell nobody else. This is a new faith thing for you. And a little bit of season oil. Kind of spraying it all over the place. And I already have, that's for the other thing. And a little bit of pepper. That's good. And we want to just break this up like you would do with ground beef. All right, I'm gonna let that continue to brown. All we want to do with Impossible meat, again, is just get it brown. It's not gonna get as brown as ground beef, but we don't want it pink. All right, so let's just talk a little bit about taco seasoning. A lot of people use different ones. Old El Paso's got a great one. McCormick, my mom's staple for everything seasoning, McCormick. And then one that I found that is very awesome is Victoria Taylor's seasonings. Now it's a real snazzy like little packaging that it comes in, but it is really, really, really good as far as flavoring is concerned. So I like to use that, and I don't use a whole one of these. And the instructions kind of tell you to use a whole packet on 1 pound of meat. Well, I have 2 pounds of meat and I'm only gonna use this 1 packet. How's it smell over there, Jazz? Good. All right. All right. Now, while that's happening, we have all the other fixings that kind of come along with, and we can kind of discuss these a little bit. Now, I brought this one because I used it a little bit of it when I made my own last night. But this is the Fiesta blend, but it's dairy-free. So when you talk about plant-based cheese, it's really just a dairy-free cheese, right? And there's several different ingredients on here, but if you look at this calorie count, look at that calorie count. That's 90 calories. That is excellent. That is, you basically can walk a lap around the track and burn off 90 calories. That's excellent. Here's another one here that I use, which is kind of a cheddar plant-based, and it's Go Veggie, but it's a cheddar plant-based, and all we want is just the dairy-free movement of it all. It has no gluten-free and no GMOs. GMOs, I won't even get into that. That's browned pretty good, and I'm going to use my taco seasoning here. I'm going to empty the whole thing in there, just so, and while that's kind of going, I'm going to get 1 And you know, they say 3/4 cup of water, but I'm just gonna fill this up. I don't need as much water in this because it's a plant-based meat that I'm using here. So I just want just enough so that I don't have anything sticking at the bottom of my pan. Obviously, when we're doing this plant-based, I don't have any fat that I have to pour off. So that's another awesome deal. We're not using, there's no trans or saturated fats that are offered in this meal at all. Everything that you're eating is of some nutritional value and benefit for you. All right? And so that's mixed up. So now, what I want to let that do is come to a boil. Once that comes to a boil or gets hot, what we want to do is turn it all the way down to where it's simmering. And then once we're going to let it simmer for about 4 minutes there. While that's simmering, we'll start making our plate here. And we have all of our various different things that we'll be throwing in. I kind of talked to a little bit the cheese, the dairy. We also have spring mix. You can use any kind of lettuce you want. There's iceberg lettuce. There's you can use kale. Any kind of greenery that you like, that you prefer to. I like the baby spring mix myself, so I'm going to put some of that spring mix in. I have some cucumbers cut up over here. We also have some. I love cherry tomatoes. I don't know why I said it like that, cherry tomatoes. But cherry tomatoes, I like those better than just regular tomatoes. And of course, a good Mexican dish is not complete without your avocado, right? So that's going now. We're gonna let this simmer and let it simmer for a little while longer just to get some flavoring in there. All right, so we've let this go for about 4 minutes. I'm gonna turn all my eyes off. Make sure all my eyes are turned off. My Southwest black beans are nice and warm. We already have our cauliflower rice ready to go there. And it's a good idea though if you taste this stuff before that way you can continue, you can season as you kind of go. Give it a taste. That's actually pretty good. That's really good. All right, so now let's get our bowls out here. And I'm gonna make some bowls for our esteemed camera folks. Media people are necessary for what it is that we've been doing in the last, I guess it's coming up on a year now. Guys have been really hitting the ball out of the park, and very grateful. I know that all the ministries have been extremely grateful for what you guys have been doing, so kudos and hats off to you. All right, so wipe the sweat off my brow, back to the music, and that is the food. All right, so I take a little bit, kind of spread that around a little bit. You don't need a whole lot because there's a lot going into this thing. So I'm making two. I might make me one. I'm hungry. It's my workout. All right. Make me a little bit. There we go. That's enough for me. All right. Let's save some for those other folks that I know are gonna come in out here. Okay. So now our cauliflower rice is in. I'm gonna bring this on over here, make some room. Just a spoonful. And you can put as much, as least as you want on there. I'm gonna put just an ample amount that I know I'm gonna probably want to eat off of myself. There we go. All right, so now we got that. That is the impossible meat. Now we got our Southwest beans. And I'm kind of putting them in portions, or in areas on the plate, or on the bowl. You can obviously stack them like how they do at the Chipotle or whatever else. Feel free to do that. I like kind of just seeing it all over the place, if you will. Let me wash my hands real quick because I'm getting ready to mess with the produce and put it all kind of together. So you have all your proteins right there in front of you. In fact, the little known item for you is all vegetables have proteins in it. In fact, it's your greatest source of protein in anything that you consume. So there's that part, and we're gonna finish up these. So I like, first of all, let's go with the lettuce here. So we're gonna go with a little bit of lettuce, kind of just kind of sprinkled on there. Put it on there however you like. I like to put it over all of it. All right. Got a little lettuce there. All right. And so now I'm gonna take a little bit of the cucumber, put that on there. Little cucumber, all right. Got some tomatoes, and I have like the various different ones, the very different colored ones here. They're pretty cool. Just to add a little flavor. A little bit of avocado here onto that one. And if you're doing these for overnight, you may want to, when you're doing your avocado, you may want to take a lemon if you have one and kind of sprinkle on the avocado. That'll help preserve the color and texture of your avocado. Just a little cheat for you. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit on mine here. I did just lick my hand in there. All right, so there. A little bit of avocado there, okay. So now you have your avocado, and I poured off some salsa. Those that are interested in having a little bit of salsa, and voila. I think I've covered pretty much everything. So here's your little side too though. People like to have a little bit of some chips. I promote the heck out of these Benitos. Really good chips. As you can see on the bag, 5 grams of protein, and plant-based, and 4 grams fiber. So this is all good for you, plus they taste pretty good. Well, excellent. Almost done. And again, this is that plant-based cheese, so it's non-dairy, which makes it really good for your body. And now, voila, all done. All under 500 calories, and complete. I mean, like I said, it's filling. It's a great nutritional value to it, and it tastes great. it absolutely tastes great. You know, like I said, I've served this to, or when I do meal prepping, I've served this to my clients. I've served it to those that have worked here at the New Faith. They've all raved about it, enjoyed every single minute of it. So I think this is something that you would enjoy, and it's something that you can incorporate in your diet while you're doing our all-in promotion and going through the 100 miles in the month here, all right? Now, we just did our impossible meat version of, now I'm gonna do our plant-based chicken version, all right? So now, instead of me going through the whole rigors of getting my my onions and all the various different other vegetables that I want to use, along even with the cauliflower rice, I have all those things kind of all in one of these little packets here. So you can pick up one of these packets. Probably, I mean, I got this from the HEB. Probably at most of your grocers carry these kind of packets that have all your things kind of mixed in. And I'm going to take my avocado oil. Let that simmer, let that get hot, and we're gonna pour all of, like I said, the vegetables. And this one's the Chipotle lime, which seems to go pretty well with this, what we call fake chicken, or plant-based chicken packet. And you can pick that up too at any of the grocers that carry plant-based items. You don't necessarily have to go to a Whole Foods where they gouge the heck out of you with pricing, but they have them at all the places. I don't know, Kroger, HEB seems to be the main one that I talk about a lot. HEB owes me some money, as much as I talk about them. But so anyways, that's going pretty good now, and we're gonna pour our items in. All right. All right. So that's in, and all we want to do is saute this for about 5 minutes. And kind of the same thing that we repeat the same thing that you did with the impossible meat version, or just the regular cauliflower that we did earlier with the vegetables. But this one has all of your the things that pretty much all the things that we kind of use, with the exception of the beans, that we kind of used with our Impossible meat. Let that go for 5 minutes. I've got my thing open here. And what I'm gonna use instead of any of these things here, with the exception of I have beer can chicken. Now they have kicking chicken, they have various different types of chicken seasonings that you could use. McCormick's really good with them. Weber's got some really good chicken options for you. You can use any of those things to kind of season your fake chicken or your plant-based chicken. I'm gonna use my canned chicken. Now, with the lime sauce that came with the packet that I bought, I'm gonna use it. Why not? We want flavor. And again, we talk about nutrition and we talk about healthy eating and healthy living and so forth. It doesn't have to taste bad. It doesn't have to taste bad. I tell you, one of the secrets that I used when I first started cooking plant-based food was that I understood that it was not gonna taste like meat. Conversely, I understood that meat without seasoning was not gonna taste very good either. I have my vegan butter in here to help kind of keep that nice and greased so that it doesn't stick, right? We have our Chipotle lime seasoning we've poured in there. And once my butter is melted, which it has, I'm gonna take this off the eye and we're gonna pour it in the side bowl where we poured our one before. Take that out. Use that as well. And I'll pour it in the bowl here just so it's off to the side. And I had this bowl last night. Let me tell you, I can't wait to go home. My mouth is watering right now. To eat the rest of it. All right, so now I'm not gonna waste time in even washing that out. I'm gonna take because all this stuff is going in there. I'm gonna put my little chicken in there. Now, one thing I really want to just do with this is break it up. But before I break it up, let's go with a little bit of seasoning to it. A little bit of seasoning. All right. We have my beer can chicken seasoning. Bingo. A little bit of onion powder. All right. And a hint of the seasonal. And I just want to get this warm. Mixed up and warm. Break it up so that you don't have the huge chunks that you have to eat. So again, I'm using the same type of seasonings that I would use to season regular chicken, or that I would season ground beef with, that I'm used with the Impossible meat. All right, so I'm letting that go for about 2 minutes. I don't want to go no more than about 2 minutes on that. I'm just gonna start plating here pretty soon. That's warm and good. All right. So we're ready to start plating. Let's turn this off. It's really that simple. There's a couple of spoons full, or as much as you of the cauliflower mix that you'd like. I like to fill up just the bottom, not to be too greedy. But I want enough to match my hunger. All right, or to meet my hunger, I should say. Got my beans. Pour a little bit of the Southwest black beans in there, all right? Have my, ooh, it's hot, my chicken. And again, you can vary how you, as much or as least as you want or need. Take our lettuce, our spring mix. Our spring mix there. We have, again, some of our cucumber. Let's push a few of those in there. Tomato. And cheese. I'm gonna use the rest of this Fiesta cheese in this one here. They have so many different styles of non-dairy cheese now that, you know, you're kind of not missing much. I think I'm gonna accentuate that with a little bit of this plant-based cheddar. Throw a little more on that. Plant-based cheese, or the Fiesta cheese with a little bit of the cheddar thrown on with that. We have our salsa, and we have a little bit of avocado. Say it like that again. Avocado. Good stuff. All right, you have that. And that is the chicken bowl, or as we like to call it, the plant-based chicken bowl, the more nutritional, good for you, don't have any antibodies, or I should say antibiotics, or any of these different things that they're injecting chickens and injecting cows with. Any of that stuff is in here. We have all plant-based meals that are delicious, that are absolutely delicious and are good for you. And that's all we want to promote, is something that is going to meet your nutritional needs, as well as some aesthetics that are as well as some of the things that you like to taste. All right, great flavoring, great meals. I thought, actually, where are my bean chips? I'm throwing my bean chips in there with it. You guys are probably asking, why haven't I taken a bite? It's because I'm probably going to eat all of it when this is over with. All right. Well, God bless you. We'll be back again to show you a few more of the plant-based items that are plant-based menu items that I've incorporated in some of my meal plans for some of my clients, and then some of the things that I also eat as well. So I don't push anything up on anyone that I don't try or haven't tried myself, and I think that you guys would like this. But all under 500 calories, and complete. I mean, like I said, it's filling. It's a great nutritional value to it, and it tastes great. All right, so eat up, enjoy. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.